Hello and welcome to the Day Tradestor. On this channel, I show you my swing trades every day, whether they are sells or buys, in hopes that you may enter the markets, maybe get your own retirement account, or become a little bit more profitable with a simple but profitable day trading strategy where we swing trade our long-term holdings. So taking a look at the S&P 500 today, we are bouncing inside of a range of from 67.24 to 66.12, $110 roughly. Those are big wicks on both sides of the body of the candle. Right now we're looking at a bearish doji candle. But you can clearly see that we've made back quite a bit of our losses or our downturn on from our portfolio balance from Friday's close of 65.50 roughly. We've gained back roughly $120 on the S&P in value for those of us who did not sell anyways. So now we're going to take a look at our stocks that we received sell alerts on, and the first one that we're going to look at is Arista Networks. We're looking at ANET. Arista Networks is a cloud network solutions company. So on Monday, we had price move down below our fast moving average. And then on Tuesday, we had price gap down, which crossed our slow moving average as well. And it absolutely was a continuation candle for the cross of on Monday. Now with this continuation candle, we're going to disregard the green candle of today because I should have placed a sell order yesterday, but I did not do that. But we will place a sell order today. Right now, the current price is lower than our purchase price of one book, which equals 4 shares. When I max out on Arista Networks, I like to have 16 shares with 4 shares for each book. So we're looking to place a sell order for 4 shares. I bought Arista Networks at 158.23, so we'll go to the first place digit, which is in the hundreds place. 10% of 100 is 10 cents, and I will add 10 cents to 158.23, making it 158.33. Got my good till cancel extended hours and confirm and send. So now I am fully complete on 2 sell orders, each one with 4 shares, totaling all the shares that I own for Arista Networks. We'll move on to Howmet, HWM. Howmet is in the aerospace industry. Now the reason we have a sell signal is because we have the fast moving average is below our slow moving average. And if you've been watching my videos, you know that when we have the fast moving average below the slow moving average, that's when I like to try to sell or place sell orders on all of the stocks if I'm not able to make a profit on those. And I've not done that yet because we didn't have the cross until this candle, which was on Friday. So the next day, Monday, we didn't have a continuation down. We had price reversal and move up, and it's been moving up on us for the past 3 days. Even moving up on us at the open, we gapped up on the open this morning. So I am not going to place a sell order or try to sell my stocks, which I would be selling at a profit if I were to sell them today. But I'm going to wait and see what happens to price. And if price does eventually drop and close below our fast moving average, maybe even possibly the slow moving average, I'll go ahead and look to close those out either with a sell or sell order. But right now we're going to move on to Intel, INTC. All right, so with Intel Corporation, we had price fall below our fast-moving average on Friday. We did not receive the continuation candle. In fact, price reversed back up above the fast-moving average. And then on Tuesday, yesterday, we absolutely clearly had a continuation candle that I did not act on yesterday. And I'm not going to act on today because we have another price reversal from yesterday's move. So we will take a look at this stock tomorrow. So we're moving on to Palo Alto, PANW. Palo Alto is a cybersecurity company. And their business, which is there to protect businesses from cyber threats, is probably going to grow quite rapidly over the next several years. Now, on Friday, we had price move below our fast-moving average. Monday, however, we had a reversal and we gapped up on the open and we were considerably higher than Friday's close. However, yesterday we did have a continuation candle, but we were not, when we were making the video, our price was higher than yesterday's close. I did not go back and take a look at it by the end of the day to see if we had had a price change. But we do have a continuation candle today. So between yesterday's close of 207.69 to the current price of 205.34, we missed out on possibly the sale savings or profits of $2 per share. So right now I have 10 shares of Palo Alto. I bought one extra book. I added to my position. So I actually have 5 books instead of 4. I do that sometimes. And I add to my positions when I believe, given all available information, that we actually might be on a extended run up and to the right. But it is not how it turned out. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days down now. But each book has 2 shares. So we're going to look to sell 2 shares at the current price of 205.35. And at 205.35, my Palo Alto, I just sold 2 shares that I bought at $203.36. So $2 a share, that's $4 in profit. Our next stock is Twilio, TWLO. Okay, with Twilio, we are still looking at the cross from Friday, crossing the fast-moving average. We had a reversal on Monday of price, but on Tuesday, yesterday, we had a continuation towards the downside. However, price was still higher than the close of Friday's candle. So as long as price continues to stay higher than the close of this candle, we probably will just hold on to Twilio. Depending what company you might be calling for any specific reason, it is Twilio software that is running the customer engagement tools. So your AI agent and your answering service that you might be responding to is probably, could possibly be by Twilio. And because AI companies are growing and businesses are growing more rapidly using AI, Twilio might be one of the companies that these businesses go to. So that is why I don't mind holding on to see what actually happens to the price. And at any rate, price currently is lower than our purchase price that I purchased Twilio for. The least expensive shares that I purchased were 2 shares at $113. So I'd rather wait. It's possible that if I were to set a sell order now, that we might have a spike up one afternoon or one morning, and it would capture that before it turns back down. And I'd rather just hold on to my stocks just in case the price just keeps moving forward and upward. So moving on to IBKR, which is Interactive Brokers. IBKR. They are a brokerage platform like Charles Schwab or Robinhood or Webull. Interactive Broker is a brokerage firm like Charles Schwab or Robinhood. However, they are #1 in international trading. So if you want to expand outside of the U.S. stock market, Interactive Brokers might be the broker for you. I'm not ready to expand outside of the New York Stock Exchange. I'm fine right now, just trying to hone my skills at becoming a better trader right here. We're using the S&P 500 and the New York Stock Exchange through Charles Schwab. Now I am maxed out with Interactive Brokers at 4 books, each book having 4 shares. So what happened? We are down. We are not truly in a continuation move from Friday's closing candle. Price currently is higher than Friday's close. So like the other few stocks that we were in a similar situation, I'm going to wait until tomorrow. We're going to leave this on our list and we'll take a look at it and see if prices move down. And if price moves down again, or definitely if it drops below the Friday's close, we'll go ahead and sell. If not, we'll look at all the indicators like the MACD and the RSI. Like right now, we sort of have a divergence in movement from the RSI to the MACD. We have the MACD indicators looking like they're going down, but the RSI is sort of leveled off. and is not currently in a true downward trend. We also have the slow moving average is clearly in an upward trend. That has not started to roll over like this. So right now it's a little bit of a battle between the bears and the bulls, and you can even see that since the 1st of October, we basically have just been going sideways. So once the bears or the bulls, whichever one wins and makes a decision on which direction this stock is going to move, then we will make our decision on whether we're going to be buying more or selling out of, at minimum, one book. All right, from today's possible sell alerts, that is everything that I know we were actually had the potential to sell. We do have a few that we're going to be placing some sell orders on. The first one is going to be CrowdStrike, CRWD. That is another cybersecurity company. And with CrowdStrike, let's zoom in here. So when I created my list earlier this morning, price was higher than the close of yesterday's candle. However, we're pretty much right there. So we're actually going to look to sell, if we're able to sell at a profit, any shares of CrowdStrike right now. Current price is $49.51. And all of my purchases were over $500. So we're not able to sell anything at a profit. So we're gonna go back to placing a sell order. And so we're going to find CrowdStrike in our watch list, right click. For those of you who haven't seen the videos where I told you, or you're new to my videos, this is the first time, this is a Thinkorswim platform through Charles Schwab. This is a watch list. I right click in here, then I click the sell button. And we're looking to place a sell order with CrowdStrike. I have 3 shares currently, and that is 1 share for each book that I would have. I currently have 3 books. So we're looking to sell 1 share, and my purchase price is, the least expensive purchase price is $507.50. So we would go to the first digit, which in this case would be a 5. 10% of 5 is 50 cents. We'll add 50 cents to my purchase price, making it an even $508. So my sell order is for $508. Good till cancel extended hours. Confirm and send. So there's our sell order for the cross yesterday of price moving below the fast moving average. We also had a cross and close of price to the slow moving average. But we'll take a look at this again tomorrow, and if we have a continuation down, then we'll probably place another sell order for this particular cross. I'm going to do one more sell order, and that is for Goldman Sachs, GS. They are a large investment bank. So Goldman Sachs, we clearly are in a downward trend. I purchased 4 shares yesterday, going against a rule set that I have in place. And in this particular case, if I just followed the rules, I'd be better off. But I purchased some shares, although I do not know why they're not showing up here. It should show a purchase of 3 shares for $788.45. But regardless, we are in a downward trend. We are significantly lower. Well, not significantly. Current fast moving average is currently below the slow moving average. We've got the indicators of the MACD in a downward trend. We've got the RSI in a downward trend. We've got the slow moving average already rolled over and looks like it might be in a downward trend. Clearly the fast moving average is in a downward trend. So buying those shares, thinking or believing that earnings was going to move in the upward direction and give us profits, clearly was the wrong decision. So we're going to be placing sell orders on all of the shares that we own. We currently have 4 shares that we own, and we have 1 sell order here for 1. We've got another sell order there for the other. So the remaining 2 shares, we are looking to go back into our watch list, right click. We're looking to sell 2 Goldman Sachs shares that I bought, and I bought those for $788.45. So go to our first digit, which is in the hundreds place. 10% of that is 70 cents, adding 70 cents to the 45. So my new sell order price would be $789.15. So $789.15. Good till cancel extended hours, confirm and send. So we currently now have all 4 of our shares in Goldman Sachs sitting in sell orders. So now I'm going to take a look at some stocks that are on the list from the previous day and on into last week. First one we're going to look at is Zscaler. So Zscaler, we are in a downward trend. I currently have 4 shares, and that is in my larger list. So we want to look at all account positions and not just my previous list. If you're new to the channel, I have multiple strategies that I'm working on in this particular account, and I used to just trade largely S&P 500 stocks within a 200 block range that I knew were consistent and good quality companies. Last week I decided to combine my other strategy, all the stocks I own within that strategy, because that was not as productive as the strategy that I've been making for my videos. So now I'm just moving that strategy, deleting that, and incorporating that into my existing strategy. And this is all of the account positions that I have. They're now all part of this particular strategy, and they're all part of my day trading strategy. So with Zscaler, I currently own 4 shares of Zscaler. We had price fall below our fast moving average yesterday. We are in a continuation of that move. Price is lower than yesterday's close, so we're going to look to sell 1 share with Zscaler. I max out at 1 share per book. So we'll drop this down in the active trader to 1. We're looking to sell it. We'll just drop it down to 301.27. So 301.27 for a stock that I bought at 281, so $20 in profit on that share. All right, General Dynamics is the next one on the list from yesterday that we didn't do anything with. General Dynamics, let's zoom in here. General Dynamics, we opened up lower than the fast-moving average and continued down for the rest of the day and almost closed completely below the slow-moving average. However, Monday and Tuesday, we had some green candles, but today we have a continuation of this cross. Price is now almost lower than Friday's closing candle. But we do have the fast-moving average and a downward slope big time. We have the rolling over of the MACD, and we have a slight rollover of the RSI. So price is almost lower than Friday's closing candle cost or price. So even though this candle as well is a bearish doji, we do have a little bit longer leg on the downward side. And we just saw price drop down a little bit while in the last 10 seconds. So we have about 15 or 10 seconds left. If this candle moves down again and drops below, we'll go ahead and place a, we'll sell a share. We would be selling it at a profit. Let's see what price. So nothing happened. We saw that. Did you see the flash? That flash, we didn't see the candle move. S&P 500 right now is slowly in an upward move. So we'll just come back to General Dynamics in the next several minutes. Prior to me moving on and recording the rest of the video after I'm finished with my trades for the day. Also, I believe General Dynamics has been on a nice run. We're looking at a 5-month run. You can see back here around the middle of September, we did have price fall and drop below our slow moving average. Fell down one day, it completely fell and closed another day, and then we had green candles and put us back on an upward move. However, this is a little bit steeper of a decline than the previous drops back down to the moving average. We're now going to look at our last stock, and this is from Monday that we didn't do anything with. It is Robinhood. So Robinhood, zoom in here, take a closer look. All right, so we had a cross on Friday of the fast moving average. Then we did not have a continuation candle. Yesterday we did have a continuation candle of this particular closing candle after it crossed the fast moving average. But for whatever reason, I decided to wait until today, but we now have price lower than this candle, which is lower than this candle. So we're going to hopefully be selling 3 shares. When I max out on Robinhood, I have 3 shares for each book. Currently, I now have 3 books, each having 3 shares. So we are going to be selling 3 shares, current price at $134. And yes, I will be selling 3 shares at a profit right now. Sold at $134.28, and I bought these at $115. So I'll just round that up to $20 a share. So that is $60 in profit on the sale of that one book of Robinhood. So if you own Robinhood, you may want to consider, absolutely do a little bit of research on your own. I am not a financial expert. I'm just a regular guy out here making a little bit of money and hoping to help others either into the markets or to be a little bit more profitable because they are not utilizing a safe strategy in their trading systems. My strategy that I'm hoping that new or young traders not in age, but the time in the markets, is that they, instead of trying to make it rich as a day trader, that they just put in a little bit of money every week, possibly $25. If you're new to trading and don't have a great deal of money, you do have enough to put in $25 a week, even at minimum wage, and then you are working as an investor. If you like my strategy, if you go back and watch some of the videos, you'll see that I'm making profits. And I don't sell any shares at a loss. If price falls beyond my purchase price, I just set a sell order and we'll wait, whether it's a day, a week, months, or even a year. I've had some stocks like UiPath, been holding on to those for over a year, and now they're just now starting to come back and hit my sell order prices. So I'm hoping that I can teach people not to be traders, but investors. Now that I have finished all of my sell alerts, and now moving on to my buy alerts, I do have one stock that I've been waiting until we have enough money to buy, and that is MPWR, and that is Monolithic Power Systems. Monolithic Power, they design and manufacture components for computers, computer chips that manage power within the system itself. But if we go back to our monthly chart, this looks like a great chart. They've just been going up since August 1st. But if we go back to our monthly chart, you'll see that we had a cross last month, and then we have a continuation of the move. And this is usually a good signal to buy in, that we might be on a run for several weeks, maybe even several months. And it is typically at this cross that I absolutely really like buying in and maximizing the allotted shares that I have for each stock. And for Monolithic Power, it's 4. It's an expensive stock because it is a great company. I currently only have 2 shares, so I'm looking to purchase 2 shares, drop this down to 1 and 10.15.42. Hopefully we'll get it. Price just moved up on us. Where did it go? Or did it move down? Move down to 10.15.96, so we'll try this again. Purchasing 2. All right, there we go. Just got 2 shares at 10.15.96. So hopefully this will be a repeat of this cross. For those of you who are watching this for the first time or you're not very familiar with charts, this candle, the previous chart, those candles aggregated every day. These candles take a month. So this is 1 month. So far, this is from October 1st till today, which is October 15th. So this is from the 1st to the 30th, 1st to the 31st, 1st to the 30th. So this is, we're looking from here. We had a cross. We would have bought in June, and then it ran for an entire year until we had a cross in March. So almost a year. And if we sold around here, we made a little bit of a profit. But most likely we would have sold up here and gotten a much larger profit in reference to or comparable to down here at the cross. So if you are watching my videos for the first time and you go back and see, take a look at some of the other videos, you'll see where I have made some purchases and some sales since I've been making these trades, or excuse me, making these videos. And maybe you can do some research and see that I'm trustworthy, and you might want to copy some of my trades. Of course, you'll have to do your own research to verify whether that is a good decision for you. Now that we actually have a cross, we're going to remove this drawing. That's no longer relevant, and we're going to go back to our daily chart, which is 3 months and 1 day. So if you're watching this for the first time, this is 3 months of daily movement in price, and this is basic that I have for every stock that I pull up. This is my base chart. All right, so our buy alerts are done. They're done for the day. They're done for the previous days as well. So we are finished with our sales. We are finished with our purchases. So now we'll take a look at our Market Watch calendar. We want to come in here at the top tab, and we're looking at right now which stocks what we own are actually going to earnings. And this is today. We had ASML and Bank of America go to earnings. Tomorrow morning, we have Taiwan Semiconductor. So what we want to do, we want to go into Taiwan Semiconductor, TSM. And we want to see how many shares we own. I currently own 10 shares. So TSM is another stock that I added to. I currently max out at 8. That would be 2 shares for 4 books, but I currently have 5 books. And what I do at earnings, I'll cancel all of my sell orders that I have. That one's done, so there's no more sell orders up. And I sell half of the books that I own, rounding up. And if I were to own 4 books, I would sell 2 of my books. So that would be a total of 4 shares. But I currently have 5 books. So I'm still going to only sell 2 books, and I will be selling these at a profit. And the reason that I sell my books at earnings is just in case price goes against us, just like it did with Goldman Sachs. I would rather capture half of the movement up than capture none of the movement up and get hit with all of the downside. So I'm de-risking my position just a little bit. If I had stuck with my strategy, I would have more stocks going up. I'd be making more money today on my day trades because I would not have purchased Goldman Sachs if I had stuck with my strategy. But there's an example of you can't predict the market. No one can truly predict the market. The only people who know the direction of what the market's of which direction the market might go are insiders doing insider trading. So we're looking to sell 4 shares. 3, 4, and we're going to sell them hopefully at 305.86. So at 305.86, I bought 2 shares at $282.42, and I bought another 2 shares at $252.54. So rounding our purchase up to $306, or excuse me, our sell at $306 for 4 shares. Means that I have to disregard those shares that I bought at 308 and move down to the next highest price. So I already did the 282 is $252.42. So that's roughly $96 for 2 shares at $252, and that's roughly from 282 to 305. We'll just say roughly $20 there. So we'll round the 96 to 100. So we're looking at roughly $120 and $140 in profit on the sale of those TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor. So I've de-risked my Taiwan Semiconductor position by 4 shares, leaving me with 6 shares. And that, again, is just in case price moves against us. Again, I'd rather get roughly half of my gains as opposed to all of it in a loss. So now that gave me money to go back in and purchase some additional stocks when I have more stocks to purchase. All right, I was looking at some stocks, and I also actually do have some stocks that I could take a look at on my sell list that I missed. I don't know how I missed that. Doing too much, trying to day trade, look at all the charts, and make this video. So the first one we're going to take a look at is Celestica, CLS. You can see we just had a cross on this is the daily chart. When we do cross on the daily chart, sometimes I like to buy all in depending on the move itself. We crossed actually 2 days ago on Monday, but we did not have a continuation of that move, but we clearly do today. So I'm going to purchase, you know what? CLS, we just had a pretty decent run from September 2nd on up to October, basically 1 month run. I don't want to buy all in with 4 shares just in case the price moves against me and goes down. Then I'll lose all of this. So I usually max out at 16 shares, but I'm just going to buy 1 book, which is 4. So buying 1 book is actually, you know, truly safe. If we get that, it's not going. We'll move this up to 270.30. We want 4 at 270.39. And there we go. We got 4 at 270.38. So currently that leaves $637 roughly, and I am currently maxed out. All of the shares that I could purchase for my day trading strategy are purchased. So I actually did a review, and I did need to buy back into one of my day trading stocks, which took me down to $320. So I also looked at another stock that I could buy back into for one book. It is Delta Airlines. You can see we have a cross of the fast moving average above the slow moving average. I currently have 6 positions, 6 shares, and for Delta Airlines, I do 3 shares per book, so I currently have 2 books. So I should be able to afford 3 more shares of Delta Airlines, and I cannot use the active trader right now because it is after hours. So I need to come into my watch list, right click. We're looking to buy and not sell. 3 shares. And the current price of Delta Airlines, looking on my day trading, is $61.74 is the current price. So $61.74. Good, don't cancel. And this is where the extended hours comes into play. I don't need this during regular trading hours, but I'm now in extended hours. It is after 4, and confirm and send. We'll see if that goes. That did not sell. So what we'll do is move this up just a little bit to 61.82. And we'll move that up to 61.93. And we'll move this up to 62.02. $61.99 for 3 shares of Delta Airlines. And my preferred trading style, if you're new to my channel or you haven't seen one of the videos where I explain or at least stated what I do like to do for one of my strategies, I like to be fully invested. So I like to have all of my money working. And one reason I don't mind having all of my money working is I try to find stocks that we're buying in at the cross, especially on the monthly chart. Again, this is just a daily chart. Each candle takes 1 day to aggregate. So especially on the monthly chart, when we have a cross of the fast moving average above the slow moving average, that's when I like to buy all in. I typically sometimes buy all in on the daily charts when we have the fast moving average crossing the slow moving average, and sometimes I don't. It just depends on how big the move is, what the short-term economic outlook looks like. I do take into account and listen to a little bit of what the experts say. I would have bought all in on Delta if I had enough money, but I do not have enough money because, you know, Delta Airlines had a great earnings report back here just 4 days ago. They had an excellent earnings report. They already are there, and we're coming up on the holiday season, which is a huge boon for them in revenues. And we have the MACD turning up. We have the RSI going up. So at any rate, I didn't have enough money, so I only bought 1 book. But the point is I like to be fully invested with all of my money working. Now I am truly done for the day. There are no more sales. There are no more purchases. And we took care of our Taiwan Semiconductor for our earnings reports tomorrow. So now let's take a look at our chart of the day, which is Advanced Micro Devices, AMD. I'm going to go to our 1-minute chart, time frame. Let's back out of here. 1 day, 1 minute. Now we go to our time frame, 2 minutes. All right, and expand this. And you can see that Advanced Micro Devices had a great day today. They're up 9.4%. This move is more likely just a continuing of momentum from the news that was released last week that they're partnering with OpenAI. You know, they had a great start at the beginning of the day, went choppy a little bit down until about 1:30, and then it was just an upward trend from there. And part of that 9.4% gain today is not just from today. It actually is from yesterday's close at $218. They opened up from $218 to $223. They gapped up $5, and then they had another $15 move to finish out today. And they're still going up. They've gone up roughly $1 since the close. Now, if we take a look at the monthly chart, 3-year and 1-month chart, at the end of this month, if they actually close, which they more than likely will, They have a complete close above the slow moving average, where the fast moving average stays above the slow moving average. I might double up and buy 4 more shares. NVIDIA does not have many competitors, and AMD is probably their strongest competitor or closest competitor. After AMD, Intel would be a competitor, but really second chip manufacturer designer is AMD. Now, if we have a big turnaround, if there's a reason that the market drops or AMD drops like it did last Friday, then I might just take that opportunity to buy in. So if we go back to, we're done with the monthly chart. Just wanted to show you where we are with the fast moving average and crossing the slow moving average. But if we look at this daily chart, 3 month and 1 day, come back to our daily aggregation, you can see that Friday it had a significant drop, and I didn't take the opportunity to buy in. But if we have another drop, maybe even if it's a half the distance of this candle, then I might just buy all 4 shares and buy back in fully if I have the funds for it. If I have the funds for 1 share, then I'll probably just buy 1 additional share. But this probably was a great opportunity to add to my position. We can see from this cross, we've already gone from 160 to we'll just call it 240, so $80. But if we come out, let's go 5, we'll bring this down to 1 year, 1 day, and then we'll just change our time frame to 3 years, and we'll max this out. So now we're out 3 years. So right now we're at the high end of the range. This is the highest they've ever been. And if we actually look at the previous high all the way back in March 15th of 2004, and we just add a drawing and we add a line and we just bring this straight across, this just might be right at a breakout. So it took more than a year and a half to reach previous all-time highs, and this is usually a good signal. This is usually a buy signal. So if you do not own any AMD, go ahead and do some research. Look at other stocks that have reached all-time highs and look at their performance after they've reached an all-time high. Statistically speaking, it is a high number of the stocks, well over 50%, that continue on to even break even new all-time highs. So I'm going to keep AMD on my list as a potential doubling up on my position. All right, with that, we are going to go back to our 3 month, 1 day chart. We're going to go back to the S&P 500, SPX. So AMD is the chart of the day. You can see we barely finished a little bit below the slow moving average, although we do have a long-legged wick here on this candle. So the bulls did push back up and beat the bears for the day. So now we'll see what we did for the day. Make sure you write these down if you're going to do some research on my trades for the day, or if you're thinking about copying my trades. So we sold Palo Alto, PanW, Robinhood, and Monolithic Power. I wrote a sell order for Aristanet, CrowdStrike, Goldman Sachs, Microsoft, and XYZ, which is the stock ticker for Block, which used to be Square. And then I bought Monolithic Power and Celestica, CLS. Now, if you're watching my videos and it's been several days since I recorded this, you didn't miss anything. If you choose to do some research, it is quite possible that you could buy in a week or even 2 weeks later, depending on the price action of the stock. The swing trades, that's not intended to be short term. We're not looking for swing trades that move 1 or 2 days and then turn right back around. Those are more day trading stocks. We're looking for stocks that are going to be moving for weeks, if not months. So now let's take a look at my realized gains for the day and the portfolio performance. But before we take a look at those, if you could please click that like, share, and subscribe button. Help me grow my channel. Help me get in front of other people's faces and eyeballs so I can help show new traders a basic strategy on that would help them become more profitable. So what we're looking for is my realized gains. Today, my realized gains are $322.77, and roughly $204 of that is from the swing trading strategy. My portfolio performance is currently 7.30 from August 19th to date, compared to the S&P 500 at 3.84%. The old account, in which all of the assets out of this account were transferred to my new account, I was performing at 16.26%, with the S&P 500 performing at 10.54. And if we combine these two numbers, my performance is at 23.56% compared to the S&P performance at 14.38, which means I am performing 9.18% better than the S&P 500. So for an average Joe like me who's just out here grinding every day, looking for trades, trying to make trades, that's impressive. That is no small feat. And if you choose to at least sample my strategy and use the same strategy that I'm trying to teach in these videos, then you too might be a profitable trader. But more importantly, a profitable investor. If you have any thoughts, any ideas, or any questions, please leave a comment, and I'd be more than happy to try to answer those questions. So that's another day down. That's October 15th. It's a Wednesday, and I hope you have an absolutely amazing rest of your Wednesday afternoon. Thank you very much.